So I'm here to introduce one of my favorite humans on the planet, Phil Stringer. Ah, it's
I
like,
love
yeah.
it.
So anyway, I was just briefly, quickly telling the story of how, like me and Phil's history together. So we think we just now decided that we met at a FubCon a couple of years ago, and super smart gentleman, great speaker. I've seen him on stage several times. He spends a ton of time traveling all over the country, has the best air like travel stories, like the best and the worst, I should say. Like they're really bad and sad, but he makes fun of it. And so he's really fun to kind of listen to of his crazy stories. But and maybe he'll share some of those today. But he a few years ago, like I at least that's when I recognized it, Phil went all in on AI and like just went really deep and like just really learning how to leverage it. And more importantly, teaching agents how to leverage it. So he comes with tons of tools, tons of tips, practical advice. He like not just tells you what to do. He'll open up his laptop and live on stage and like just show it to you and help you experience it. So I hope that you guys plan to take some notes. We are recording this so you can play it back later. But having him here live is a real blessing and opportunity, especially considering his schedule. Like I literally saw him twice over the last 2 weeks because we were both in the same cities at the same time. So, but beautiful human being, good human, good heart, and very generous heart, most of all. So please be prepared to ask questions because he's good at answering those too. And I'll let you take it from here, Phil.
I was gonna say that you were my favorite person in real estate, and for you guys not to tell anybody. But then I see Gabby join the room, and I love Gabby too. So I'm not.
Yes.
I won't say anything. I got two of my favorites in the same Zoom room. But so fun story about Kendall. She actually got me to speak for Inman the first time I ever spoke for him. I think I've spoken for them 3 times now. Speaking in the Miami event in 4 days on the main stage as well. Kendall was the one who introduced me to the people at Inman, and so I was very grateful for that. And I thought, since I'm with Kendall's group, that I would give you guys some stuff I've never taught before that I'm planning on teaching at Inman in 4 days. You guys get kind of the sneak preview of some of that stuff that I haven't taught before. So there's some new stuff, some fresh stuff. So if you have seen me before, or if you've been through some of my presentations, a little bit might be familiar, but I've got a lot of new stuff here that I haven't covered before. So I figured, since Kendall got me connected with Inman, you guys deserve to have a little bit of the Inman Connect preview today. So does that work? Is that cool? Love it. Awesome. Well, I'm going to share my screen, and most of my presentation is live demo. Like, I'm going to walk you through and have my screen shared. We'll start off with a little bit of an intro, and then from there, I'm just going to dive into some strategies. I'm going to dive into deep research, actually, with ChatGPT. And then one thing that has really changed the game for me is creating an entire marketing playbook and then doing some strategies through that marketing playbook. So I'm going to kind of give you a sneak preview of that too, and how you can do the exact same thing that I did to scale my business, using it for real estate, creating a marketing playbook, and then using ChatGPT in a very specific way to get really, really good results. So I'll share my screen here. You guys should see this, the power of AI. Right off the bat, I'm about to save you a ton of time and make you a bunch of money. I think everyone in the room would probably say that's good with them, right? We all want more time and more money. There are only two possible outcomes from this session. Number one, you'll start to become wildly more productive and profitable. Number two, you'll start to become painfully irrelevant. It depends on what you do with AI starting today. Right now, there's someone beating you in business with half your experience, a fraction of your skill, and way less hustle. And they're able to do it because they know how to use AI at a higher level than you. But that changes today. I'm going to show you how to use AI to crush your goals and your competition. So let me ask you something honestly, just right off the bat. How much of your day is filled with stuff that doesn't actually move the needle in your business? Responding to emails, rewriting that one social post for the fifth time, manually chasing leads. You feel busy, but you're not winning every day. And here's the painful truth. Every hour you spend doing things a machine can now do faster and better than you is an hour your competition is gaining on you. Your competition is using AI to multiply their time and stretch every dollar while you're just using it to turn yourself into an action figure. I've seen you guys online, real estate agents, man, we went crazy with that Barbie action figure thing. There's probably several of you in the room or watching later that was like, yeah, I totally did that. And I thought I would get it out of the way because everyone asks me after I do this, and I make a little joke about action figures like, well, what's the prompt? Can you give me the prompt? This is the prompt. If you want to screenshot it, we'll go ahead and get it out of the way so that we can focus on business stuff. But I figured this might be a follow-up question that I get later. So I am going ahead and giving it to you now so you can take a screenshot of that. That's the prompt that you can use if you wanted to turn yourself into an action figure. I love this quote by Jim Rohn. It says, time is our most valuable asset, yet we tend to waste it, kill it, and spend it rather than invest it. And I think that's so true. And that's why I say AI is to your time what compound interest is to your money. The good thing is you don't have to be an AI master. You don't have to love technology. You don't have to be a tech wizard, right? The things that I'm going to teach you and the strategies that I'm going to go through today are new, but they're not hard to do. Anyone can do them, whether you're 10 years old or 90 years old. You're going to feel comfortable doing these things. You don't have to be a crazy tech guru. You're about to discover how to create time, not in theory, but literally hours you get back every week with the right AI tools and prompts. And I'm not talking about random experiments or futuristic hype, none of that junk. I'm talking about practical, dead simple strategies that are easy to do. Strategies that real business owners are using right now to save time, make more money, and crush the competition without being tech savvy. So, what if you could have a content strategy that runs itself? What if you could have automation that makes you elite without hiring? What if you could train ChatGPT to know your business better than even your employees or yourself? Have content systems that generate months of marketing in minutes, all without needing to be technical or creative. You just need to know what buttons to press and what to type. And I'm about to show you exactly that with some of these strategies today in this session. This is how you do more with less. This is how you create leverage. This is how you win. If I were to wrap up this entire introduction into 3 words, and if you've seen any of my presentations before, you probably heard me say it's evolve or die. We have to evolve with technology or we will die. The internet powered agent eventually replaced the standard agent. It was just a matter of time. The same can be said with AI. The AI powered agent will eventually replace the non AI powered agent. It will just be a matter of time. And so we want to get ahead of this thing. We want to learn how to use this the right way. Because if you can jump on board now, guys, 95% of agents are not utilizing AI. And if they are, they're doing it the wrong way or they're not doing it very much. And so if you can get ahead of this thing now, you will start to crush your competition because you will create more with less. You will create leverage, and the business owner with the most leverage wins. The real estate agent with the most leverage wins. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Okay, all of this sounds great, but why should we trust you? Maybe you haven't heard of me before. Maybe you haven't been to one of my events. And if so, that's fine. But why should you trust me? In less than 2 years, I've scaled my personal brand from nothing to multi 7 figures. I started with no marketing budget, no social media following, and no experience. I now have over 1,200 clients in all 50 states and 23 countries. I've taught business owners from solo entrepreneurs to large sales teams how to create time, simplify their marketing, and scale without burnout. I've gained over 200,000 followers across social platforms and received over 1 billion views on my short form content. I'm not a tech guy. I'm not a developer. I'm not even that smart, honestly. Kendall's the smart one, okay? Like we can all say, we hear her speak and we're like, okay, this girl's smart. I'm not the smart one here. I just figured out how to use AI in ways that actually work for people like us. So today I'm not here to impress you with what I've done. I'm just here to show you how you can do it too. This is where your journey begins. And if you want to follow me, if you want to connect with me, if you want to have a chat with me, the best place to do that is Instagram. And that's my handle. It's just my first and last name, Phil Stringer. I respond to DMs. I try and help out as much as I can with tips and tricks and tools to help real estate agents save time and sell more homes. Those are the only two things I care about when it comes to AI, which is why I joke about the action figure prompt thing, because I'm like, guys, this is fun, but how is this selling homes? Right? Like, it's good to have fun. We like to have fun, and it's funny to talk about at a party. But when you come to one of my events or when you take any of my training, it's always focused on two things. How can this save me time? Or how can this make me money or sell more homes? And so that's what we set out to do. So what I'm going to do today is a little bit different than what I normally do. I have a PDF for you guys that has a list of tools and a list of prompts, which if you've been to any of my events before, I give this out every single time, but I've updated it and it's new. It has a couple new things in there. So you'll definitely want to grab that. And I'll go ahead, I'll give that to you now. So let's go ahead. If you scan that code, you'll get that PDF with the tools that I recommend and the prompts that will really help you. So you can scan that QR code. I think you put in your name and email, and then it unlocks it right on the page there where you have that PDF. You can download it, do whatever you want with it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something a little bit different today, where I'm not going to walk you through all those recommended tools and I'm not going to go through the specific prompts, but I am going to focus on a couple updates and some new things that have absolutely changed the game for me and my business, but also my clients. And I want to show you how to do that. So I'm going to X out of that QR code. And essentially what I'm going to get into first, the first thing I'm going to jump into, and again, this is not what I normally do, but it's such a big update in the last couple months that I want to spend some time with this. And it's an update inside of ChatGPT, and it's something called deep research. So this is the deep research right here, and I'll go live and we can play around with it. But this right here, if you go into your ChatGPT, this is now available on the free accounts as well as the paid accounts. Before it was just the paid. They rolled it out to the free accounts. Now, I'm going to show you guys how this works and some things that you can do with it. I'm going to give you a few different types of things that you can do with it that maybe people aren't thinking about in real estate. And so I'm going to give you 7 use cases, maybe 8 use cases of how to use deep research in a really cool way. And then I'm going to go even deeper at the end, and I'm going to help you create a marketing playbook. And some of the stuff will blow your mind what you can do. But it starts with this deep research. So if I go over, let's go over to ChatGPT here. This is the free account. Okay. So I have a free account. I have a paid account. I have a Teams account. I have all the accounts, but this one is the free account. Okay. And what I want to show you is that even on the free account, this deep research is available. Now you'll see if I hover over that, it only gives me 5 deep research queries per month. So from now until June 15th, I only have 5 reports that I can generate. And this will make sense in a second. On the paid account, you get more. They keep increasing it. I think it's like 25 now that you get per month. So on that $20 a month ChatGPT, you now have more options to do deep research. So how you do deep research is you click this button, it turns blue, and now it says, what are you researching? You see how it changed from what can I help with to what are you researching? So you can get a detailed report about anything. Now, guys, you can use this for business, and I'm going to show you how, but you can also use this for your personal life. How many times have you been in a scenario where you're like upgrading your phone and you're trying to compare iPhone models, or you're trying to figure out, okay, what's better between Android and Apple, right? You're buying a new car and you're like, hey, I need a new minivan. I want it to be under this budget, but I need, say, the safety rating to be this, or these are the features that I must have. I've got to have dual heated seats or whatever, right? You can ask for a report and say, research all of the minivans, 2025, this year. I have to have dual heated seats. It's got to be under this amount, and it's got to have this level of safety rating. These are the things that I must have. This is what I'm looking for. Can you research all of the different kinds of minivans that fit this criteria and give me a full report? You could even do side-by-side comparisons in a table format that it's going to give you, but it will go out and it's going to take anywhere from, I've seen as quick as 5 minutes to process all of this information and give you a detailed report. I've seen as long as 30 minutes, depending on how much info it has to sift through. But what it does is it goes and it researches through and it reads dozens, even sometimes hundreds of articles. And it tells you the activity report of what it's doing so that you can see, all right, now it's reading through this article. All right, it went back and now it clicked on this link and it's reading this article. It does so much reading. It would probably take you about an average of 40 hours of reading just to process everything that it's pulling. It takes all of that information and it boils it down into a 10, 15, 20 page report that gives you every single thing that you would need to know about whatever it is you're wanting to research, right? Whether that's iPhone versus Android, whatever it may be. And so you get this amazing detailed report. And every time you do deep research, it will ask you follow-up questions before it initiates the deep research. So if you're worried about accidentally using one of your 5, you could say compare iPhone models from the last 2 years, right? If I do that, it's going to come up with follow-up questions. All right, could you clarify what aspects you want to compare, right? Do you want performance, camera capabilities, battery life, display, size, type, refresh rate, price, design and materials, software features, connectivity? Let me know which of these matter to you, or if you'd like a comprehensive comparison, including all of them. So if I wanted everything, I would just type in, give me a comparison of everything. Hit enter. Once you answer that follow-up question, it will initiate the deep research. And again, it could take anywhere from 5 to 30 minutes to give you that full report. Guys, the reports are amazing. It's like pulling from today's data because it's researching all of these links online through forums, through articles, through videos. Like, it's researching everything. And the report that it writes for you is so detailed, like absolutely incredible what it does. And so you might be thinking, okay, that's great for comparing, iPhones, or if I want to buy a new car. There's a lot of things, anything that you would need to normally research, where you're going through and you're reading articles about something, a product, whatever it may be, something you're about to purchase. It's phenomenal. It saves you a ton of time. But how do you use this in real estate? And so I was thinking through a joke because I was literally in the shower and I was just thinking through what are ways people could use deep research when this first came out to enhance their real estate business. And I literally was in the shower and I just started thinking of some different ways and I started jotting them down. And I got a list of 7 or 8 different deep research, scenarios that you could use for real estate. And so in that PDF that I gave you, there's a page where it has all of the deep research use cases that I've written down. But I want to share them with you here today, and you can take screenshots, whatever, but it's also in your PDF. So use case number 1 would be competitive listing analysis. So you could say something like, here are 3 listings in XYZ neighborhood. Paste in the links to those listings. And then you could say, what is missing from their marketing and what can I do to outperform these agents when I market my listing? Guys, it's going to go through and read through the listings from those links that you put in. You could do 1 listing, you could do 2, 3, 4. It doesn't matter. I'm just throwing a number out there for 3, right? You paste in those links for every listing. It's going to research how they marketed that property online from what it can research and pull. And then it's going to give you a comprehensive plan, a report on what you can do in addition to what those competitors are doing to make your listing in that same neighborhood even better. Imagine having a plan, a report that you can present and be like, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, here's my plan. This is how I plan to outperform. We're going to do this in addition to what's currently being done in the neighborhood. It's really an incredible feature and tool. And again, most real estate agents don't think about these things. They know deep research is available on ChatGPT, but they don't really know how to use it, right? So that's number one. Number two would be very simple, but you can research local market trends. So for an example, you could say something like, what trends are showing up in the zip code 27410 for listings over $500,000? How does that compare to 27265? Obviously, you put in whatever zip codes you're wanting, you put in whatever price range you're wanting, or you could just do local market trends for one area, one city, one county, whatever it is you're wanting, right? But it will go out, research all those things, and give you a full detailed report back of some local market trends. Another one that we don't always think of is local regulations or tax incentives. So you could say, are there any first-time homebuyer tax incentives or down payment grants in Mecklenburg County, North Carolina? And you can ask for any type of incentive, any type of program. This is obviously just to get your brain, moving and thinking with inspiration. But you can ask for any type of county, any type of area for any type of incentive. And it will go through and research what is currently out there. And you can specify, for 2025, right? And it really does a great job at going through a ton of links, a ton of articles, and finding that information for you to present to your client. Another option here would be real-time market comparisons. You could say compare home price trends over the last 90 days in zip code 27410 versus 27265 with average days on market, price per square feet, and list to sale ratios. So think about how you could use that with some real-time market comparison. Again, it does all the research for you and then gives you a full report. Another one here would be validate your pricing strategy. So you can say pull recent data, articles, or live sources showing if pricing slightly below market helps homes sell faster in Austin, Texas. Again, you put in your information, your area, and you can actually have a report that is data driven on why your specific pricing strategy is the correct pricing strategy. You can then present that to your seller if you need to, but it helps give a little bit of oomph to your pricing strategy. So it's not like you're just picking a number out of the air. You're like, hey, this is data driven research that I'm preparing for you. Here's the report. Another one is understanding buyer migration trends. So you could put in there, hey, what cities are people moving from to settle in Tampa, Florida in 2025? It's going to read through, pull from data to figure out where people are moving from. And you could have a little bit of a relocation research report to figure out where people are coming from for specific areas. I love this one. This one is a competitive agent analysis, and it says, what marketing strategies are top agents in Raleigh, North Carolina using in 2025 to win luxury listings? So now it's going to go out, research the top agents in Raleigh. Again, you put in your area, and it's going to figure out, okay, what are these agents doing this year to win luxury listings? And it gives you a full report. I've done this one many times for people. It's an incredible report that you get back. And I'm going to show you a couple other fun things that you can do with this one in a few minutes here. And then I love this one, and this is my last one. Take a screenshot of this because I do not think I put this in your PDF. This is I just came up with this one last night, and I was putting it in for the Inman one. So you guys get it before anyone else does. But it says, research the most effective geographic farming strategies top performing real estate agents are using in 2025 to generate listings and build brand authority in Raleigh, North Carolina. Specifically, analyze how agents are combining direct mail with digital tactics like retargeting ads, social media content, email, and AI tools. I want a 12-month plan with content themes, timing suggestions, and modern tracking methods. Also research what's working best right now in similar markets. Incredible, incredible research that you can pull from this. So those are some of the deep research use cases. Again, those just kind of popped in my head as things that we could do as real estate agents, right, with deep research. Hopefully this inspires you to be like, okay, well, what about this? Or, starts getting your mind going a little bit on ways that you can use deep research in a very creative way that other real estate agents aren't doing right now. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to kind of piggyback on that. And I want to show you 3 tools that have changed the game for me with saving time and selling homes. Normally I go through like 10 different tools. I'm going to focus on 3 that are newer, that have really done an amazing job for my clients. And I'm going to piggyback off of the deep research and show you how I use these tools with deep research. Okay. So the first tool that I want to feature is a tool called Notebook.LM. This is a free tool. Now they have a premium version. I use the free tool and I use it all the time. Okay. So you can pay for it or you can use the free. I use the free personally. What Notebook.LM is it's a tool that helps you learn and understand information in digestible ways. I know you might be confused right now, but I'm going to show you how this works. Okay. So when you go to Notebook and you're essentially creating a notebook of information that you can then learn from. All right. So there's a couple different ways that you can add information in the notebook. One, you can upload any file or source. Okay. So you see PDF, text, markdown, audio, like an MP3, whatnot. You can drag in any file and it will add it to its knowledge base, its brain. You have a source limit on the free account of 50 different things that you can upload. Okay. To add it to its brain. If you pay for it, you get even more. I think it's like 200 or something. You can add files like Google Docs or Google Slides or anything from Google Drive. You can add links, which would be like a website URL, even YouTube videos, and it will understand what the YouTube video is about and add all of that knowledge from that YouTube video into its brain. Or you can just paste in text. If you've got something that you have text and you just want to paste in the text, you can add that in as a source and it will add that knowledge to its brain. You can also discover sources. So if you don't have any sources that you want to add, but you need it to find information, right? Then you can have it do that. So what I'll do here, just for fun, is let's do I want to find out information about Kendall Bonner, real estate agent. And I can do anything here. I could be like, include things like hobbies, right? Personal life, fun things or fun facts, right? About her, including business strategy, right? And again, I'm just pulling something from this guy here. But if you don't have any sources, you can type in what you want it to search the web for. And when you do this, it's going to search the web and try and find different sources online. So you can see here, there's Best Tampa Real Estate Broker Associate. So it's got an article there. Episode 340, where Kendall Bonner, back when she was with Remax, right? She must have done some podcast or episode. It's got bestTampaRealEstateAgents.com. It's got this here. Looks like a guidebook from 2020. Success secrets and tips from top agents. That's a blog from Real Trends. Looks like author at Inman. So it's pulling from an Inman thing, maybe like a bio. So it's got all these things from a media company, reviews, speaker lineup from Reimagine Expo. You've got all these different things. I can select what sources I want or what sources I don't want. Let's just say I'm going to add all of them, right? So it's adding all of these sources. Remember, I can upload my own sources, but this is adding the sources. If I didn't have any, I can just search the web, right? Once this is uploaded, this becomes my brain of information, and I can talk to this thing like it's ChatGPT, say, because this is like a large language model similar to ChatGPT, and I can ask it any question. So for an example, I just asked it, how has Kendall Bonner's background influenced her real estate career success? So based on the sources, it's going to tell me, here's the information. Legal background, right? Florida licensed attorney, entrepreneurial upbringing, early real estate experience in 2011, founding and leading a business, emphasis on relationships and networking. And it's pulling all of these things, but then it gives me the source. So I can click on the source and see, where did it pull this information from? Oh, well, it was this article right here, right? So this is really amazing because I can load this with information about anything, right? And then I can learn about it. Now over here, I can create a study guide. If I want to study Kendall, I can create a study guide from all of my sources. And it's like, here's your study guide. Check out this. Here's a quiz with information. I might want to quiz Kendall on herself. Like, what was Kendall Bonner's initial career before becoming a real estate agent? And then it gives you an answer key. Florida licensed attorney for 20 years, right? Practicing criminal law. And so I've got this study guide. I have a glossary of terms. And, obviously you're not going to do this about a person, probably. You're going to do this about, real estate information. You get a briefing document that will give you the most important information from all of your sources in a brief, a frequently asked questions that it will generate from the sources, and even a timeline. If I wanted a timeline of Kendall Bonner's journey, right? It can create that timeline for me and do everything in chronological order from time. And so it looks like it starts from 2003, and it gives me a timeline of main events. Boom, here we go. And it goes through these different things from a timeline, which is really incredible. So again, this is cool if you want to learn about Kendall, right? But how do we use this for real estate specifically? Well, I gave you that example with the deep research on how top agents in Raleigh are getting luxury listings in 2025, right? So let's say I do that deep research and I add these in as sources. So what I did personally is I did it on ChatGPT. I also did deep research on Gemini, because you can do deep research with Gemini. I did deep research with Grok, because you can do deep research with Grok. I did deep research with Perplexity, because you can do deep research with Perplexity. I added all four to this brain, and now I can talk to this brain about, hey, what are the best ways in Raleigh to get luxury listings right now in 2025? Super cool, right? You can do this with any type of research report, any type of information. I put in the entire textbook for North Carolina's real estate class to get licensed. And it became a whole study guide. You could ask it questions, whatnot. It's really, really neat what it can do. And so one of the really cool things outside of all of this with Notebook is you can load a conversation. Now you see here, I just loaded this conversation, and it creates a podcast with two AI hosts talking about the information to teach you the information. So if you're someone who learns from an audio perspective better than reading a bunch of documents, I play these podcasts when I'm driving all the time, or on an airplane, right? When I'm flying somewhere. I think if I stop sharing and I reshare, I think I can actually connect the audio, and I'll show you guys how this actually works. So bear with me here. I'm going to reconnect, and I'm going to show you how crazy this audio is. All right. So you guys should see this again. Check this out.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're really digging into the Raleigh, North Carolina real estate scene.
Yeah, specifically looking at the luxury market.
Exactly. How are the top agents actually landing those, high-end listings in 2025? What's the secret sauce?
Well, we've got some interesting source material to unpack that.
And so I won't play the whole thing because you see it's 17 minutes and 25 seconds long, right? And so you can see how learning information and using the audio can really, really help when you are trying to learn something. And so that is Notebook.LM. Tons of different ways to use it, but that's my favorite way, is to do deep research, take the report, add it as a source to Notebook.LM, and then learn from these different things: study guide, briefing document, play this audio, or even just type in and ask questions like it's ChatGPT, because it's basically like it's ChatGPT, with these added sources as its external brain. Okay. The next tool that I want to jump in is one that I am more excited about than anything that I've ever done in AI for real estate, which is saying something because I've done a lot of real estate stuff with AI. I was a former COO of a mega team in North Carolina, and I started thinking last year, I was like, there's got to be a way that I can create a tool that will help people win listings and get more prospects. And so this is the tool called buyerprediction.com. And if you go to buyerprediction.com, this is what it is. And I'm going to show you how this works in a second. We'll do a live demo. It's only 2 questions. It's the easiest thing in the entire world. You put in the property address, and then you put in the price point of how much you think the home would be sold for. You hit submit, and it uses data and an AI algorithm to calculate and tell you who is most likely to buy that home. And so before I jump into that, I actually pulled for my presentation this week, I pulled some text messages that I got, and I get text messages about this tool every day. Your buyer prediction tool just helped me get a $2.5 million listing. The buyer prediction tool is the most useful AI tool I've ever used for my business. I got a $2.9 million listing thanks to the buyer prediction tool, beating out 6 top producers in my area. Thank you, Phil Stringer. This tool is perfect for identifying buyers and then marketing directly to them. It's changed the game for me. This is the most incredible AI tool that has actually made a difference in my business. My buyer profiles have been spot on. It's almost scary. My sellers have been amazed. And so if you go to buyerprediction.com, you can use it for free. You don't have to sign up for anything. You don't have to put in your name. It's completely ungated. You can try it, 1 free use to test it out. And then after, it's $29 a month for unlimited uses. So it's just buyerprediction.com, easiest thing in the world. But I'm going to do a live demo right now, and we'll show you how this thing works. So does anyone have a property address that they could give me if we wanted to test and put a property address and maybe a price point? Does anyone want to jump in and volunteer?
Sure.
All right, let's do it.
I'll give you a listing that I'm probably going to put up soon. It is, sorry, it's 472 Essex Street.
How do you spell it?
Essex.
Okay.
In Brooklyn.
Do you know zip code?
Yes, let me pull that right quick. 11208.
Okay, and what would you list it for?
Probably like 549.
Perfect. All right, so that's what we're going to do. We put in the address, we put in the price point. It's going to search through data and then use an AI algorithm to tell us who is most likely to buy this home. And it gives us demographics, psychographics, shopping behaviors, pain points, marketing recommendations for that buyer. It's incredible what it spits out. So let's see what it does for this address. All right, here we go. Ideal buyer persona. And once it's finished, I'll scroll back up. Motivations, concerns, pain points, marketing strategy recommendations, enhancing appeal, content ideas. And so you can see here, this is incredible. You take this report.
Wow.
And it's got exactly age, income, occupation, psychographic profile with values, interests, hobbies, lifestyle preferences, right? Motivations, affordability, investment potential, community living, convenience, concerns, market volatility, affordability, neighborhood safety, pain points, financial constraints, uncertainty in market trends. So you take this. Now, there's a couple things we can do with this, right? We take this entire report, which you can copy it right here. You can also continue talking to it down here. So let's say there was someone who put in an address, and after they ran it, they said, oh, but this is in a retirement community, and it didn't know just from the address that it was a retirement community. So they put in here like, hey, just a heads up, this is a retirement community. Can you run that again? It ran it again with all the same psychographic, demographic information, but knowing that it was in a retirement community specifically. So you can always tweak it, add things to it add notes, anything you want it to know down here. But you take this thing, you copy the whole report, and let's say, for an example, let's say you take this report and you go on your listing appointment and you say, hey, other agents kind of throw their marketing out everywhere. We have an AI tool that tells us who is most likely to purchase this property, so we're able to target our marketing, right? You can copy that, you can paste that entire profile into ChatGPT or whatever you want and say, hey, create me content around this profile. Create me whatever you want, Instagram Reels, email marketing, whatever, ads, all around targeting that specific buyer profile. One thing that I've seen work extremely well is people are using this for farming as well. So instead of doing the normal, hey, contact me and I'll give you a free CMA, you could say, hey, contact me and I'll give you a free buyer report because I know who's going to buy your home. It's working so well with farming. Now, here's the really cool thing. If you want to make that report look super pretty, there is a free tool called Gamma that creates presentations. This is a free tool. You can create presentations 3 different ways. You can paste in text. You can generate one from a prompt, just asking it to create something for you. Or you could import a file or even a website. It will read that information and it will create you a presentation. So what if we were to take that report and we did the paste in text thing and we just pasted in the entire report, right? I want my presentation. I'm going to hit continue. And then it gives you options. So you can have a brief text, medium, detailed. I'll just go with medium. And this has in here, write it for real estate investors and prospective home buyers. I'm going to say, we could do that, but let's say I want to take this report on a listing presentation. So I'm going to say, write it for the property seller. I want to present this to them to show them who the buyer will be on our listing appointment, right? And you don't even have to do this. I'm just being, extra tone, all this stuff, additional instructions. I'll be like, the point of this presentation is to win the listing and have the seller choose me as their real estate agent, right? And you don't have to do any of that, right? I have how many, you can pick how many slides you want. All right, I want this to be, 8 slides long, right? Generate. Now you pick what theme you want. So you can go through and be like, okay, which one do I like? Let's see, let's do, I don't know, that looks good. Let's look at this one. That looks fine. All right, I'm going to generate it with this style. You pick what style you want. That is all you have to do, and watch what happens with the buyer prediction tool and Gamma, which is free. Meet your ideal buyer, right? And it's going to go through and generate an entire report. I'll scroll back up and show you guys. Demographics, motivations of your buyer, addressing your buyer's concerns, our marketing approach, and you can tweak any of this, right? But this generates a why list with me. So now you can go in here and you can tweak any of this, right? If you're like, oh, well, this is actually, 97%, whatever. But it generates a full report. Meet your ideal buyer. Here's the address. You would obviously put in whatever picture you want in here. But let me show you exactly who will buy your home and how we'll attract them. My research reveals a clear buyer persona ready for your property, market position, your buyer's profile with demographics, values, housing needs, what motivates your buyer, addressing your buyer's concerns, our marketing approach, content strategy to attract buyers, why list with me. And again, you can go in and tweak any of that. But you can see if you show up with this buyer report or you give this buyer report as a lead magnet to get leads for farming, for whatever, people are using this tool for prospecting, right? So imagine if you do any type of cold calling, right? The moment they pick up, if you're calling expireds or you're calling, FISBOs, whatever it is, the moment they pick up, you type in the address into the thing, you hit go, and you're like, hey, I just generated a report, and we know exactly who is going to buy your home, who's most likely to purchase this home based on data. Do you want to schedule an appointment to walk through it? So you're getting the listing appointments scheduled with it. You're securing the listing with it during your listing presentation. And then you're using it to get leads as well with farming, with different opportunities. And so this is an incredible, incredible tool. I've just been so excited about it. And then using something like Gamma, which is a free tool, makes it look super pretty. And then you can present it to your client when you're doing your listing presentation. So really exciting, buyerprediction.com. And I think you guys are going to absolutely love it. I have one other thing that I want to share with you. I want to make sure that I've answered all questions so far. So let's break for 1 minute here and ask any questions you have. I think so. We've got a hand up, Taz.
Hi. Question on both the deep research and also the buyer prediction. Mostly, what's the quality of the data that it's pulling from? And then also, I guess, on buyer prediction, what kind of factors is it pulling from based off of those two prompts?
Yeah, so with deep research, it shows you the actual sources that it pulls from. So it's scouring the internet. It goes through articles, it goes through videos, it goes through, online forums, all those different things. The buyer prediction tool does the same type of thing as deep research. It also has some historical sales data built in. And so every time an agent brings that to a seller, they're just blown away because they're like, I haven't seen any other agent do anything like this, right? It's just forward thinking. And so it's kind of a tool, an additional tool in your tool belt to add to your listing presentation. But deep research, it'll give you the sources you can click through. It gives you a whole list of all the articles that it read through. And it gives you all the sources for how it pulls the information. And when you're doing deep research, if you want something that is specifically new, you can specify, hey, how is this working in 2025? Then it's going to research articles that are from this year, right? So it's like you want to be specific with how new you want that information to be pulled from. Because if you don't, then it could pull strategies from 2021, right? Or whatever. Cool. Any other questions?
Yeah, hi.
Hey.
Hi, Phil, I have a question. So, do you suggest the same approach for creating buyer and seller presentations, or is there any other tool that you recommend for that?
Yeah, no, 100%. I would add this in for a buyer and seller presentation. Like, definitely have it a part of your present because you are going to make yourself stand out because no other agent's doing this right now. Like, this is just something that they're going to be like, whoa, like, no one else is doing this. I had a guy, he's a brand new agent. He beat out 7 top agents and he got a multi-million-dollar listing and he was a new agent only because they were like, dude, you're the 8th person that we have interviewed and no one did anything like this. Like, it separates yourself from other people. Other questions?
Do you find that the information that it provides that impresses the seller actually helps you identify the target audience? Like does it result in a buyer profile that's similar to what's predicted?
Yeah, I mean, the feedback that I'm getting, we did 8 months of beta testing on this thing before we released it. And the feedback that we got in those 8 months was like, this is spot on. And then I even get people who follow up and they're like, the buyer who bought this fit that profile, which is not going to happen every time, right? Like, it's giving you the most likely. But I've gotten so many messages like, oh my gosh, like I followed up and looked after the fact and it fit that profile almost to a T, which is kind of cool. But it helps the seller know that you're not just throwing it out there. Like, you're going to have at least a targeted approach to somewhat, nail down who they're looking for. Yeah. Cool. Well, I want to do one quick thing. I want to do the marketing playbook. And this is a 5-step process, so I'm going to have to go somewhat quick, but I want you guys to take screenshots of this because I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it as a presentation mode here. But this is the marketing playbook. There's a 5-step process. I love this. This is absolutely killer. You guys will love going through this. So step number 1, if you've been to any of my events before, you've heard of step number 1. It's the most important step. It's training ChatGPT on your business. So this is nothing new, but this is the step 1 that I want you to do. I want you to paste in that prompt into ChatGPT. And basically what it says is, hey, you know what you don't know about my business. So ask me whatever questions, 25 questions you need to know. It asks you and interviews you. You take those questions, you paste them in like a notepad, Google Doc, whatever, and you just answer those questions. So you have question number 1, here's the answer. Question number 2, here's the answer. You are giving ChatGPT all the information that it doesn't know about your business so that it is hyper specific to what you're wanting. When you're done answering it, copy and paste those 25 questions and answers, paste it back into ChatGPT and be like, hey, here are the answers to your questions. And then it is going to be trained on very specifically your target audience, your business, your customers, everything, right? So this is step number 1. Do that, put the 25 questions into a doc, answer the questions, keep it in that document, all right? Step number 2, you're going to do deep research. And you're going to say this: research the target market for my real estate business put in your city. Check real forms, social media, pages, and review sites to find the exact words people use when talking about their problems and their dream outcomes. So you are researching your target market and you're getting the exact words that are used online that your target market, your target audience are using when they're talking about their problems. It's going to generate a full 10, 15, 20-page report about your target market. I want you to take that report, copy it, paste it in the same document that you have your 25 questions and answers. So now you have 25 questions and answers. You have a full report on your target market. Step 3, do deep research and say this: I am a real estate agent looking to create content via, and then you put in what content you want to focus on. YouTube channel, Instagram Reels, email marketing, whatever it is you want to do. And you can do a couple different content types if you want. Give me topic ideas that hit 3 critical points: high search volume, reasonable competition levels, and a clear overlap with my paid services/offers. It's going to know what your paid services and offers are because you answered the 25 questions about your business, right? You do this, you get that 10, 15, 20-page report now about what content strategy you should have in your area and for your content types. You paste that into the same document. So now you have 25 questions and answers, followed by the deep research report on your target market, followed by deep research report for your content strategy. Then you paste all this info into that document. So step 4, you get all 3 of those things, right? One big document with, say, 50 pages, right? Then you upload that file, you export that as a doc or a PDF, upload that file to ChatGPT and ask the following things. Based on my business and my marketing playbook attached, what are some great lead magnet ideas for me to offer to grow my list and get leads? Based on my business and marketing playbook attached, what are some great service providers I can partner with? Review my business and marketing plan, then use the web to scan real reviews, websites, and articles, and do research on my competition in my area to find out the strengths and weaknesses of my competition. Based on my business and my marketing playbook attached, act as a high-level business coach and help me make some data-backed business decisions that will help my real estate business scale. If you do that, friends, you will be light years ahead of the competition. It takes the file, that 50-page file with all that information in the reports, reads it, analyzes it, understands it, and gives you answers based on that marketing playbook document. It's one of the most incredible things that you can do to get super specific information to scale your business. So with that, I know I'm running out of time. I'm going to hand it back, maybe some Q&A if we have some time. But hopefully this session was helpful for you guys and you at least got inspired to some new ways that you can use AI.
Thank you. That was awesome, actually. So thank you. I unfortunately do have a hard stop, but if I could make someone else the host, I think, and then if you guys wanted to keep asking questions, I don't know if there were any questions. If Phil's got time, I think that's pretty awesome. But um, anybody have questions? Do we need to extend this, or you guys feel like pretty good? You got a lot to digest and like brief watch this and go play and figure it out, right? I bet.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Phil. This was, yeah, I don't have any questions. I have so much to do.
I love it.
Right? Yeah, it's good homework though, right? I
Yeah.
mean, it's like you have to invest the time to save the time, right?
Yep.
And well, as I heard a speaker, oh my God, I can't think of his name right now. Ricky Mendez, he said, if it costs you, wait, if it makes you money, it costs you nothing. So like sometimes when you're thinking about like, oh, do I have the time to invest in this? Do I have the money to invest in this? But if it makes you money, it actually costs you nothing to take the time or to make the investment. So that was a powerful kind of insight that he laid on us a couple of weeks ago in California. So I just want to encourage you guys to invest the time, invest the money because it's worth it, because it will eventually, ultimately, not only save you time and money in the future, but also exponentially grow your money and buy back your time in the future, which is also a great book. I just finished last night, Buy Back Your Time by Dan Martell. You should definitely go check out that book and go also watch his YouTube videos. He talks about a lot about AI and AI agents and all of that. He's a powerhouse speaker and leader as well. So thank you, Phil. You're the best.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, and good luck next week.
Thank
You're gonna.
you.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you.
All right,
Have a
see
good
you guys.
month.
Thank you.
Bye bye.